Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Welcome back to the show. I have not been doing a lot of interviews in 2022. I've been working on other stuff. We've had documentaries, we had vlogs, but we have to get back to one of the foundations of the Cool Hand Podcast, which are the interviews. So I was on the gram. I had this person added for a while, and I saw this person singing and doing, some stuff time to time on the story. But then like she just popped out and dropped the whole song. And I'm like, oh snap, we got to get her on the show. So that's what we're doing today. Yes, could you please introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Morgan Hancock, Valdosta, Georgia.
Morgan Hancock. What's your stage name? What do you go by on Apple Music and all that?
Stage name is Mone.
Mone in the building. We are going to call it today. You are Mone. So welcome to the show and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure. So I want to get into who you are and where you're from. You mentioned that you were coming out of Valdosta, Georgia. Now, were you born and raised there?
Born and raised.
All right. Now, what is life like in Valdosta? Because when you think Georgia, people think Atlanta.
Yeah, not city. I'm a country girl. So Valdosta, depending on the part, either it's hood or, you got your country. So I'm kind of a little mix of both, but more on the countryside. But I live in the suburbs. So
got you. All right. Well, shout out to Valdosta. Shout out to Valdosta. Now, what did you all do for fun as you were a youngin coming up?
Playing outside, getting dirty. A lot of times after school, me and my friends, if we finish our homework on time, we say, want to go ride bikes. So that's something we did almost every weekday after school. And then on the weekends, we would go to a sister's, and she always had this karaoke that she did, and she had her own restaurant, and her name is Mia Alba, but she had a restaurant called Mama Mia's. And so every Friday, Saturday night, we would go there.
Mama Mia's. All right. Shout out to Mama Mia's too, riding bikes and hanging out. Right. So what I know you for currently is singing. Now, were you always a singer? Did you always sing, or is that just something you picked up later on?
I've been singing ever since I can remember. Probably when I first started talking, I was singing. And of course, when you're young, you hear music and you're babbling, but you're also imitating what you hear and whatnot. And I think one day my dad, we were listening to a country CD that he had, and we were riding in the back seat and we were on our way to Mama Mia's, and he turned it up, but he heard me singing, so he turned it down a little bit. He's like, huh, you're good. He's like, I take you to school every day and you must have been listening. And so I think that was when I first realized that I did have a love for music, because going to karaoke almost every weekend and singing songs in the car, like CDs I would hear. And those weren't the only CDs, but I think I first found out that I had a love for music through country music. So.
Okay. Do you remember the song that you were singing in that car?
I do remember. It was I Hate Everything by George Strait.
George Strait. I'm going to have to look that up and listen to it just to see what type of vibes you and your dad was on back in the day. All right. So I Hate Everything by George Strait. So country music, now that's something I done listened to some country in my time, but I never really got into it. What can you tell us about that style of music? And since you were around it a considerable amount of time, I would imagine how that love for it grew.
Honestly, I don't know. It's something that I've always loved, but when you grow up, you learn that there's not just all my exes live in Texas country. You got your different variations of the music and different instruments. And I guess I picked up on that too, subconsciously, that, this guitar sounds really nice, but you still got different blends of the drums and all this and that and the third. And there's just so much that goes into that sort of music that I guess I grew up appreciating. And it also helped me to just grow an appreciation for grow an appreciation for music in general, because you pick up on a lot of things. When you have a musical ear, you say, oh, I like this, and I like that, and it just comes together and you find your own style.
Okay. Can you give us, I'm just going to say three. I'm not going to ask for a top five. Can you give us three of your favorite country songs?
Ooh, that's hard. um I will say Baby Blue by George Strait. I'll also say that's a good one, but I won't say that one. I'll also say Not All My Exes Live in Texas, because everybody's going to be like, that's so easy. So I'll pick another. I like Baby Blue. I like She'll Leave You with a Smile. And I like Troubadour by George Strait. Those are my three favorite country songs.
All right. So if you want to know where Monet gets her some of her style from, or some of her foundation, those are some songs to listen to, and I'm going to listen to them myself, because I want to know some George Strait. I want to get into a little bit more country, so that's okay. Now, when did you really start to take, I'm not going to say take singing or music seriously, but when did you really start to think like, okay, I'm going to like really work on singing?
Well, I grew up in a musical family. My mom can blow. My dad can sing as well. And there would be these brothers and sisters that they would ask us to do gigs, and, oh, will you sing for my wedding? Or, we'll having a little get together, and it'd be nice if you sing us a song or two. And so my parents started off doing that, but then, they kind of realized, hey, the child can sing too. How about you sing a couple songs for these gigs? And so me, my mama Mia, my my papa Alba, and my dad, we would get ready, we'd get all our musical equipment and our gear, and we'd do gigs, and I would sing songs, and I got paid. So I was like, oh yeah, I think I like this. I think I want to stick with this. And I remember, like, a lot of times before we would even get to wherever we were performing, we would practice anyway. We'd have rehearsals and mic checks and whatnot. And, they always say, oh, Morgan, just sing like, you're at the restaurant and nothing's going on. And I realized that, hey, this is something I like to do. And I want people to like me too. So let me really put some effort into this. And I would rehearse for hours and hours. And they'd be like, did you like that? No, let's do it again. Let's go again. And I know they're about tired of me because, it'd be late and there's like, okay, well, we got stuff to do tomorrow. So I think you've done well. But I think then I realized, wow, I have a love for this and I take this really seriously.
Now, how old were you when you were doing the gigs with your parents and Mama Mia? Shout out to Mama Mia.
Mama Mia, she's great. When I did my first gig, I want to say I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old and I sang for a wedding.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal. Were you nervous?
I was very nervous. I was shaking in my boots.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's, man. I'm about to embarrass myself. We're gonna. I'm about to show the difference between Monet and myself. Now, I had my first Bible reading when I was 9. And I got up on that stage. Now, I'm going to blame 2 other young men. They said out there, like, you don't got no Bible reading. Like, yes, I do. And I got up on that stage with my tan suit on. I looked out at the crowd, at the congregation, and I went like this and started crying. I was 9. You were 8 performing at a wedding. So I got to give you props, because 9-year-old me cried.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I cried after it was over because I felt like I did a bad job.
You got through the performance though, so we got to give you a round of applause for doing your thing. So Thank you for expressing all of that. Now, um, what else kind of influenced you, whether it was more so musician wise, like somebody on the radio or somebody you like to listen to in your MP3 or iPod player coming up?
Well, when it comes to musical inspiration, I think honestly, I was like most little girls. I heard Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, and I was like, oh my goodness, their voices are just like, just honey. I want to sound like them. I think they have really, honestly, just shaped the way that not only my musical style, but the way that I sing. Like, especially when I'm making my own music, I'm like, you know what? Mariah Carey would put a little something right here with her little hand, how she do. I
Yeah.
do that, And Alicia Keys, yeah, definitely musical inspiration. They were probably my top three. Yeah, they definitely have shaped me as an artist. And then also, like a little girl, Disney, like that was my thing. A lot of people don't know it, but theater, I love theater. Like that's really interesting to me, not just because I like drama, but it's kind of cool when you put music with it. It's like, oh, I can
Yeah.
get into this. And as a little girl, I'm singing all of these Disney songs, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't a princess. Like I was a princess, and I would sing those songs day and night. And I think that's also something that shaped me as an artist.
Okay. You know what? I was debating on asking because I'm tuned in. I'm tuned in. So I'm seeing you doing like some type of like Disney voiceovers on your Instagram and something else that had to do with Disney. And I'm like, okay, this sister likes Disney. Like she clearly likes Disney princesses and all that stuff. Um, so theater, were you in any plays and stuff, or did you end up doing like a little bit of acting in school or drama club, anything like that?
I did. I was in drama in middle school. Yeah, just middle school. I pulled out in high school because I was more focused on my academics then, but
Mhm.
middle school I was in a play called Fame. And it's some I think the Fame play has been around for a while. It's been around since the 70s, I think. And we would do these songs and we would have rehearsals, and I think that was something that it made me look forward to going to school because it was fun for me because I love music and I also love drama. And so, yeah, I'm definitely tuned in with that.
Okay. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Why do you do me like that? Ooh, I'll say my favorite Disney movie. Ooh, this is gonna be hard. I'll put. Can I put that up there? Yeah, I'm gonna say my favorite Disney movie is Mulan.
Mulan. Okay, man, I haven't seen Mulan since I was a baby. Wasn't Eddie Murphy in that movie? Didn't he voice something? Man,
He's
yeah, I haven't seen.
dragon.
He was the little dragon with little red dragon or something. Man, I literally haven't seen that movie since I was a baby. Man, shout out to Mulan.
Yes, shout out to her. And
All right.
Leia Salonga, the artist who sang for the movie, she was also a big inspiration. So I think that's why I also like the movie because I like the soundtrack. So.
Okay. So you are a soundtrack appreciator as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
all right. So something else I want to talk about in regards to your music. So we have your foundation down, we have some of your influences, but actually putting a pen to paper and recording vocals and creating music, that's a whole nother, ooh, not hit the mic. That's a whole nother atmosphere. And it takes a lot of different attributes and dedication to create music. So at what point did you think maybe I can make a song and maybe I can record it?
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't the person who came up with the idea for me to. I mean, I had always written music, but nobody had ever heard it, and I didn't plan on anybody ever hearing it. But I think one day I had posted something singing, And a brother of mine reached out to me and he said, "Do you record?" And I'm like, "No, I don't record." And he's like, "Well, you should. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to download this music platform to record on, and you're going to do a song with me." And
Okay.
so yeah, he was the reason I started recording. I mean, I had platforms, but I had kind of dabbled with it and then just kind of like, oh, okay, that's enough, but never taken it seriously to say like, oh, I'm gonna put out a song of my own. So shout out to him. That's Jay.
Okay.
Jay.
So this is referring to the song that we're gonna be talking about.
No, song that we did before together. We
Oh, okay.
did Always before we did Take the Ride. And before Take the Ride, I'd had that music, but it was his song that I featured on. And so that was when I first started recording. And then I said, well, maybe I should put out something of my own.
Okay. So how long has it been since you did that first feature with Jay?
Maybe, when was that? It was sometime last year. Maybe, was it June of last year? Yeah.
Okay. So you're fresh in the game.
I'm very fresh in the game.
Okay, you're fresh in it. So this I'm getting an exclusive. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Take the Ride, because this is the song that puts you on the map. It's blowing up, it's going crazy on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever you want to get it. It's called Take the Ride, featuring J Kilowatts. Taking over the summer. So with this song, how did this come about? Where did the idea come from? I think the lyrics are pretty transparent, but are they did this come from like inside? Did you have like somebody out there you wanted to take for the emotional ride without getting super personal?
Somebody I wanted to just no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hopefully I'm not taking them for too bad of a ride, but
Mhm.
yes, I did have inspiration for this song from a special someone. But honestly, when I first had the initial idea for the song, we weren't dating at the moment. We were just friends. And I said, I want something upbeat and pop, because most of the songs that I do gravitate towards are love ballads and like heartbreak songs and oh, you did me dirty and all of these kind of songs. And I said, I want something a little cheerful, a little upbeat. And I guess initially it was kind of hard because it was like, well, I'm not in a place to where I'm really in love right now.
Mhm.
And so that kind of made it hard to write lyrics. And I started courting this brother, and he was definitely an inspiration for basically all of the lyrics in the song.
Aw. Aw.
I'm gonna blow his head up.
Shout out to you, brother. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Yeah. So I was thinking, I think I have a little inspiration now, and so I go and I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling like this. And a lot of times I'll just like say something weird and then I'll just rhyme something after, almost kind of like what they say freestyle. I do that, but in a singing sort of way, not really rap, but it's just easy to kind of go off of one idea and then for other things to kind of flow naturally when you have a beat that you like and you have your inspiration. And so yeah, he was definitely a big part in that song. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him for sure. So you talked about your writing process with that with this specific song. Is that how your writing process usually is? You kind of hear something that you like in a beat or instrumental, and kind of just see where it takes you? Or do you start with like, okay, I'm angry, so I'm gonna write about being angry, or I'm sad, so I'm gonna write about being sad?
Yeah, I guess it would be a little mix of both. Kind of like before with Take the Ride, you hear something, you just happen to spit out, you know, oh, okay, that works. And then something else follows, and you just try to ride the beat. But also I noticed that writing out the way that I feel, kind of like you said, and then formulating it after, into a song works a lot because I have all of my thoughts on paper anyway. And it's just
Mhm.
sorting it out and making sure it fits and it flows nice.
Okay. And where did you find the beat for Take the Ride? Did somebody make that specifically for you, or you just found it out there on the internet?
I found it on the internet, on YouTube.
Okay, that's a good place to yeah, to find a lot of free content to use. So that's nice. And how long did it take to create this song?
You're not going to believe me.
I'll believe you. If you say it, I'll believe it.
I've been writing this song since August last year.
Okay, I don't believe it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just playing. I'm playing. So since August of last year, so 2021.
Yes. Well, see, you start writing it, and I think maybe most of it was done in maybe the first month or so. And then you tuck it away and you don't touch it for a while.
Okay.
And then I pulled it back and I said, it has potential and I like it, but I'm gonna be honest. I was talking with the brother who featured on the song, and I told him, I said, I like this song. I just don't have anything for this piece right here. And I said, and I kind of gave up. And he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Puts on the headphones right in front of me, starts recording it, and I said, okay, we have the song. And that was maybe like a week before it dropped.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Jay Kilowatts, man. Shout out to, am I saying his name right? I don't want to disrespect his.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to Jay Kilowatts over there knocking verses out. Okay. Because I was going to eventually ask about that feature and where it came from and everything. So there's a real story behind that feature. Okay. That's what's up. So, in your words, for those who are sleeping under a rock and they have not heard the one of the hottest songs of the summer, right? How would you describe Take the Ride to someone who has not listened yet?
I would describe Take the Ride as a vibey, upbeat song about somebody, that you're feeling, and you're not really sure if they're feeling you, but you hope that they are. And all you can do is say it and put your feelings out there and hope that they would go along with it. And, just tell them the way that they make you feel. And I like it because it's giving me something that I can leave off. So here, I think I'll try to make more songs like these from here on out. But yes, I was gonna say if you wanted maybe a comparison, I would say a little mix between an Ariana Grande song or who's another pop artist? Um, yeah, well, Ariana Grande vibe sort of song, or if you're into that.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's real upbeat, real poppy, and even though it's not summer yet, it's getting warm. So if it starts getting warm, I call it the summer. But yeah, I think it's good for, one of those sunny days, car ride, one of those things that people can listen to, and it's positive. That's another thing. It's not sad, don't put you in a bad mood, and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
now, what are some things that people may not know about you that you can share that's a secret talent, a weird food that you like? What's some stuff that people may not generally know about Monet?
I will say one weird thing that people don't know about me is that I can yodel.
What? Okay.
I, maybe drop a cover of me doing that one of these days. But yeah, growing up with country music, that kind of comes in the bag too. So
It all makes sense when you put it in that context. Yeah.
weird food that I like. Hmm. I don't know. Let me think. Everybody does that. That's not weird. Is French fries and ice cream weird?
It's a good question.
Don't make me feel
not
weird.
not to me. That's the thing. I don't think that's weird, but I feel like somebody out there feels that's weird.
What about Kool-Aid pickles?
I think that would be weird to a different demographic of people.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, like I didn't come up eating Kool-Aid pickles, but everybody around, all the kids in school eating them Kool-Aid pickles. My wife, she rocks with, I'm pretty sure she rocks with pickles in general, but so
My lady.
that's a cultural thing. That's a cultural thing. I'll put it that way.
I think I ate it one day, and I was up north, and they looked at me like I was weird, and I said, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a thing here."
So Kool-Aid pickles, that'll be different for some people. Okay, so absolutely.
Do you like Kool-Aid pickles?
Uh, the kid, I remember when I went to a school called Thurgood Marshall. They was eating them, and I think I tasted it, and I wasn't rocking with it, but I was a baby. First grade, you're a baby, so I'm now.
Maybe your taste buds developed a little bit. You grew up a little bit. You might like it.
That's
And
true,
try
because
it again.
I ended up liking spinach and all that other stuff that's supposed to be good for you. So I might have to revisit it. I might, now that this is on like camera and everything, I might have to revisit it just for the podcast. So here we go. I just got myself into something.
Right.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention? Any shout outs you wanted to give? Anything that I missed? Just anything you wanted to say outside of what I asked?
Not really. I just wanted to thank those who have supported me already with my song. Everybody knows that, oh, she's like super hard and she won't put out no music. And I finally put it out, and I saw a lot of good feedback. And that's really encouraging for me. It makes me want to write more music for you guys. So I wanted to say thank you for that.
Understood. And on the same line of thinking, how soon can we expect something else?
Maybe in the next couple months. Who knows?
All right, the next couple months, but who knows? That's open ended. But all right, well, we'll look out for that. Yeah, we look out for that. The people are looking out for that. Where can we find you on Instagram?
Mo_Tamale.
All right, and I'll put that up on the screen for people to see that. And how do you spell your name if we want to look you up on Apple Music or Spotify?
Monea with an accent.
Got you. Because there is more than one Monet out there. Because
Yes,
when I went to go add it, I'm like, okay, this is not her. But okay. So thank you for coming on. I guess we can wrap it up here. I appreciate you taking out the time to do this. So we have Morgan Hancock, aka Mone. Take the Ride is out now. Valdosta, Georgia. Country music, yodeling, pickles, and Kool-Aid. That's as much as I can say right now. This is the Cool Hand Podcast. Have a nice day, everybody. Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to do.